Yo, what's up guys, it's Andrew here, back with another Darwin Project video. Today I'm going to be teaching you guys 10 pro tips and tricks for Darwin Project on Xbox One and PC. I've seen a lot of tips and tricks videos of Darwin Project on PC and Xbox One, PC especially, but all of them seem really long, so I'm going to make this one really short and really quick, so without further ado, let's get into it. So to start things off with tip number 1, we have keep your crafting together to help not being tracked as much. Now this tip is actually something that I made up myself, but is really helpful and efficient in the long run. So basically, we all know that in Darwin Project, when you craft something, you leave behind a little toolbox. And we also know that when enemies spot these toolboxes, they can hover over them and track you. Now, usually when you start off in the game, you start crafting right away. You start crafting every single chance you get. You know, if something requires 2 leather and 1 wood, you'll craft it as soon as you get it. But in this tip, basically what I mean is when you're harvesting tools, try not to craft as much, and when you are ready to actually upgrade, when you have a lot of wood and leather, you can craft in 1 spot so it only gives off 1 toolbox. So there's not that many spots that you can be tracked. Moving on, tip number 2 is basically shoot the flying drones in the menu to help with your bow and arrow aim. Now, this is a thing that not a lot of Darwin Project players actually know about, but in the little spawn menu, the pre-lobby before each game, or in a private match, there's these little shootable flying drones that actually spawn in the air, and sometimes they're really hard to hit, and sometimes they're really easy to hit because they go different speeds, and you can shoot these things with your bow and arrow, and this really does help your bow and arrow aim, and has actually improved my bow and arrow aim a lot. And as you guys know, the bow and arrow is one of the most annoying weapons in Darwin Project, so yeah. Alright guys, so tip number 3 is basically to find the best loadout for you and know what each ability does. Now, in this game, Darwin Project, there's obviously a lot of abilities to choose from, and in the start of the game, it'll ask you if you want to choose from ninja, and like all these different types of loadouts, and there's also a custom loadout option. Now, please make sure that you pick custom loadout, because it actually does matter a lot and can affect your gameplay a lot. A basic rundown is they have arrows, tools, electronics, and just boots, fur coats, and axes. So I do stress that please learn what each ability does. Under each ability in your equipment menu, you actually get a brief description of what each ability does and what it can do. So another tip is to please read the description and know what each ability does, and yeah, find the best loadout for you. Now, moving on, tip number 4 is basically to use combos. Now that I've just explained all the equipment in Darwin Project, there's actually some combos that have been invented so far, and you can actually search these up, and they're very easy to find, and I can just give you a basic rundown of one. Basically, you use a cage trap, an ice bolt electronic, and turret electronic, and you freeze the guy in the cage trap and then place a turret and just go to town on him. And basically, there's all these combos that can actually just completely 100% destroy any player, and it kind of just, the reason it's a tip is it just kind of gives you like an easy kill, and just not that much stress, because no one really likes axe fighting. Let's be honest, you fight it often, and you like to do bow and arrow fights and axe fights, but anybody would actually easily rather trap their opposing player to death than actually fight them one-on-one like a normal fair fight. Tip number 5 is learn how to maintain your stamina. Now, in Darwin Project, there is 3 little meters in the bottom left corner. You have your health meter, your cold meter, and your stamina meter. Your stamina meter depletes very fastly when you run, and it recovers really slowly. So a tip to make this recover faster and actually be able to run for longer and maintain your stamina is to actually stop running when your stamina meter is at halfway. It actually charges up faster and makes you be able to run longer. Don't do this when looting though, because your stamina bar will recover by the time you loot, unless you have a harvesting axe on. Now, tip number 6 actually has something to do with stamina as well. Basically, you can actually sprint with LB as well as let go to stop sprinting for, more convenience sake. This is actually an Xbox One tip only, so if you're watching on PC, I'm sorry, but there's already a key for that, so good luck. But anyway, usually I've learned, or maybe this is actually a very obvious tip, but I used to always sprint with the thumbstick. I used to push down on the thumbstick and to sprint and to let go to stop sprinting, but you can actually sprint with LB and let go for convenience sake and to stop sprinting for longer. This is really good in combat because step backs are really important, and sprinting is really important as well. So if you just let go of LB, you can slow down and all this type of stuff. So it's a really useful tip. Now, tip number 7 is actually a very sort of an obvious tip. It actually shouldn't be too hard to understand, but it's actually to take the time to alter your sensitivity and find which settings are best for you. Now, I see a lot of people that just run into Darwin Project, don't even take a look at their options and their settings, and just go right into combat. This is a huge mistake because settings are obviously, as we know, done by personality and done by preference. Some people actually could be gods and play on 20 sensitivity. Some people can be gods and play on 100 sensitivity. It's all up to you. That's why I'm telling you guys to find which settings are best for you. For me, I like to usually keep my moving sensitivity, horizontal, vertical, to 100. I like to keep my arrow sensitivity around 30 because I don't like to move around a lot when I'm arrowing. I like to just, track their body and stuff like that. So yeah, tip number 7, take the time to alter your sensitivity and find which settings are best for you. Number 8 is actually something that a lot of people fail to come to terms with, but it's actually don't be a dick and be funny and a good talk, because in Darwin Project there's not a lot of people playing it right now. On Xbox, the community is so small. I get on every day and I join random lobbies with people I've played with. I've actually become friends and I haven't even added them on Xbox. That's how often we play together, because that's how small the community is. So basically, if you're a dick all the time and you're being an asshole in lobby, you're gonna get bullied a lot. There's gonna be there's gonna be a lot of stuff put on your name. You're gonna be known as a dick because of how small the community is. And if you're not lucky and you're not too careful, the show director might do something like this.
2 players remaining.
Yeah, make sure to not be a dick, be funny, and just be a good time and be really nice to each other. Should be obvious, but a lot of people fucking fail at it. Tip number 9 is actually a really common tip. A lot of people know about this already, but some people actually don't. And for the people that don't, basically, is to know the axe combos and know what they can do. So basically, there is 3 types of hits. Actually 4, if you count 1. There's a basic hit where you just, walk forward and swing. There is like a sort of like a smash hit where you jump in the air and you smash down. There is an uppercut sort of thing where you jump and then you swing your axe like an uppercut. And then there's a jumping and then side swing. The regular swing is just RT. The smash is to run forward, jump, and then press RT. The uppercut is RTA to do an uppercut. And the final side swoop is to look left on your left stick or look whatever way, and then click RT while jumping to do like a side swoop swing. And the final tip for today's video is tip number 10, and that is to use boom shrooms. Now, a lot of people actually don't know what the boom shroom is, what it's called, and what it does. There's actually these little boom shrooms that are located all over across the map, usually commonly by cabins, and if you swing at them, they actually launch you in the direction you're looking. So it's actually a really efficient way to get out of the zone that's about to be forbidden, or even to run away or go towards someone that you want to fight or don't want to fight. Yeah, you can also hit nearby players when you swing it as well. So if you're fighting someone and you're near a boom shroom and you're just trying to get away, you can swing while you're both near it, and yeah, you guys will go flying. So yeah, that's it for all the tips for today. An honorable mention for a tip is radars are commonly spread in cabins, and you can tell which cabin has a radar on it by the satellite on top. So that's it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed the video, please go down and like this video, as it really helps me, and also feel free to subscribe because it's free and it helps me out a lot. You can also share this to any other Darwin Project players or any of your friends that really need help. Send this to them as sort of a wake-up call. That's it for today's video. I'll check you guys later.
In the building, man. What's good? Is that potato salad? Yo, listen. Niggas give me the cold shoulder. I can speak for myself. So I keep a hot waist and alligator the belt. Ain't got a belt with the holster. I ain't playing games, but got some little niggas who would do it. So I pass the controller.